Okay, guys, how are you all doing today? It's a great day, and this is just an update to what happened this week. When we say this week, we mean from the 8th of June to 12th of June, right? That is the second week of June, and as usual, we watch the major currency pairs and also gold, and that is 8 instruments in total. Right? And what we do here is price action, support, and resistance, looking at the area of interest, how the market moves to areas of interest, and then the trigger when the price gets to the area of interest. Everything comes together at the end of the day. Right? So this is one that we have here of Euro USD. As usual, we always state that most times what happened in Euro USD, uh, the opposite occurs for USD CHF, right? We've had an uptrend for a while now, for I believe about 2 weeks plus, or thereabout. And then if you look at what happened from the areas that have been mapped out based on the support and resistance. Don't forget the area of interest has to do with support and resistance, right? So basically, I was looking for a reason to go long here, and even if I had, obviously, I probably have had a small loss or a break even. I'm talking about the price action for this week, right? So that is 8 to 12, right? So basically, the market did what? It got back to these highs, and then we had this candles, right, showing the week of rejection, rejection, and then the follow through, and then this area here, excuse me, and then this area here of support, and then resistance, based on price action, or rather based on support and resistance. We also look for flip zones, right, areas that have acted as support and resistance at the same time, right? Well, nothing could have stopped me from taking this trade here. I guess probably because it's Friday and I'm not too big on Friday trading, right? I've said testing one or two things though when it comes to Fridays, just using some low, well-defined risk, and then seeing how it goes. As long as the market moves, there's always opportunity in the market. And now I'm going to just quickly jump into USD CHF. As we normally say, Euro USD and USD CHF tend to move in opposite directions. You can see this trend here is down, and then Euro USD is up. But as this one went down for a long period of time, right? As you can see, also just like the Euro USD, we had this solid downtrend. Now there's this rubber band. I like to call it the rubber band effect. Some other traders would just simply call it like convergence, divergence. Probably using like the RSI or any of the MACDs or those oscillators that we have out there that traders normally use. But basically, we're able to get a good entry here, not before having a loss here, where we got an entry here trying to go long, and then we got stopped out here, and then we got another entry here, and then you can see the arrow here pointing to where we got out, which acted as an area of formal support. Don't forget, let your key levels, your area of interest, be there to guide you and to help you to place trades accordingly, right? So this is counter to the trend also, but there's one thing we need to note. I'll say it in two ways. For a rubber band effect, it simply means that the market has been going in a particular direction, and it needs, yes, you heard me, it needs, so there's most likely that it must reverse kind of effect. It must reverse either to the nearest area of interest that is known as untested, or another untested level, right? So depending on the strength in which it dropped for that week, because I was stating that for this week, I posted in a couple of places that for USD CHF has done over 200 pips already, and that was like on a Wednesday, and it was still dropping. Now, do you expect it to continue to drop and then drop and drop? Right? No, not possible. right? No, I'm not saying it's not possible. Sorry, don't cut me, right? But basically, we usually have that rubber band effect where you would also need to take note of like on a higher time frame area of interest of support on the higher time frame that would also help you to place trades to go long. Well, cut the long story short, we're able to get a trade here to go long on this, right? And then that was one of our very nice and clean trades. The only thing now was that I wasn't able to get more than one position on this. Now over to GBPUSD, we had a trade on GBPUSD on Friday, right? That was the last day of the week where we got a trade here to sell, and then we got out at this area of support. One key thing now is that once you're able to map out or mark out your levels appropriately, you start to see those turning points like support, support, resistance, 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 resistance. And you can see where we entered here was a form of resistance. But if you look to the left, form of support, 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 resistance, and so on. So this will help you to know that yes, that when price is coming back to this area, it should act accordingly and then props give us some possible entries here, right? So easy peasy. Once you know your levels very well, your areas of interest, then we will be able to get some nice and clean entries. ADUSD, I took this one and then I had a small loss here. Notice I would always say small loss because it's about keeping your losses small and then keeping your profits well maximized. So I had an entry here and then the stop loss got hit here and then it got back to this levels of highs here. And you can see the wick telling that it's line. It pushed down and then came back here. Excuse me. And it came back here and then acted as new resistance, right? Because also it has acted as support resistance in the past as well. But I didn't get an entry here, which I should have, right? I hesitated a bit because I like the structure on NZD USD better. I like the structure on NZD USD better. And you can see I was able to get an entry on NZD USD right over here at this area of resistance. It has acted as support before, acted as support, acted as resistance, or flip zones, areas of interest, key levels, whatever you want to call it, support, resistance, supply, demand. Just make sure that you have, you studied well enough and you know those areas that you're interested in. Just look at it as like a bus, right? You're trying to board a bus, and now to board that bus, you need to know where that bus is going to stop, right? You need to know the bus stops using these key levels, and then you place your trade, and then you are in and out. You can see this below dash here. This is where I actually wanted trade to close for take profits, showing resistance and support here, flip. But the market came down and then came back here to this area again of resistance support, and then it came down. I was still hopeful, but hey, I just said, hey, it's a Friday, let me close it and have something small, and then we'll see what next week brings, right? Because I don't leave trades over the weekend anymore. It's been years that I've done that. If not, probably against Monday, Tuesday, the trade might still get to hit this place. But I'm okay with just having a few pips every now and then and watch them compound, right? Watch them compound, right? So quickly now, so that we don't make this too long, we've talked about the USD Sweezy, and then very similar to USD Sweezy was the USD JPY. For the USD JPY for the week, we had a very strong move, right? We're counting days of down candles on the daily time frame, right? So this also is like that rubber band effect that we talked about, and then the price hit an area on the higher time frame of support. I got in here, it pushed higher to this area here, and then came back to test this, and then pushed here to another flip zone. I got out, and the rest is history. Don't forget, always ensure that your stop loss is small with respect to your take profit. Your take profit must always be higher, right? Your take profit must always be higher. And that was about it for the week, because for the USD card, I didn't have any entry whatsoever. Even though this one was more or less a no-brainer for me. Looking at the market dropping and dropping, I knew most likely it should be a thing of reversal, that rubber band effect where we have some people waiting to place trades in this same direction, but price has to reverse. Now you could be a trend trader or a counter trend trader, or you could even be a trend trader and a counter trend trader. Most times I preach trading with the trend. But hey, if you understand what you're doing, you're able to read the market like a book, then well, go ahead. Nothing stops you from making extra pips. Then gold, well, nothing on gold, right? Nothing much on gold. I would have loved maybe a retracement back to here, maybe one or two times when it tried to, but it didn't, and then it pushed higher. You can see this big candle here showing that there was of course something fundamentally happened to push that up, right? I can't even remember, right? But I know I was not interested in gold this week, and then it got back to these highs here of from last week. You go back there, and obviously that would have been a nice take profit level for anybody that was able to get in to buy. So well, that's basically what I had this week. The week was good, all the same. Little profits, little loss here. Well, of course, the profit took care of the losses. But I'm not too spectacular. I'm not too happy about the week though. But wait, what can I say? No week will be the same. And of course, we're looking forward to the next week. It's the weekend now, trying to get some rest, and you could watch this video over and over again to understand more the price action, support and resistance, and how to pick your areas of interest well enough. And you could also look at your own trades and also try to review the week and see what you could have done that could have given you better profit at the end of the day. Right, so I would like to say thank you for paying attention and for watching this video. I would like to tell you to click below the subscribe button. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, give us a like, post your comment below, and we'll be sure to reply back in good time. Right, so don't keep or rather don't forget, you must always practice in order for you to improve. The business is straightforward. For you to play straight, you need information telling you what to do, and this information is everywhere. This video based on price action, support and resistance. You could check other YouTube channels, forex channels. There are a lot of good guys out there trading and giving out all this information, probably for a token or for free or whatever the case is. What you want to achieve is that knowledge which you're going to turn into wisdom, and then you can place trades appropriately and then see results. Look at it obviously as an investment. You need to invest in yourself and take the time out to learn all of this properly. So I just want to wish you best of luck. Look out for more videos, this weekly market analysis on a weekly basis. I would also be doing other videos with respect to teachings where we'll be talking about things happening in the world. We already know that the COVID-19 is still there, still very much lingering, and as much as everybody, they've eased up on the lockdown all over the world. But if this moves into another phase, most likely it's going to be deadly. And I believe we've been talking about the crude oil before. We haven't talked about the crude oil in a while though, but I think probably the next video we might just look at crude oil and see what's happening to the crude oil now. See what has been happening after the ease of lockdown, before the ease of lockdown, and if there's another lockdown, what most likely might happen. So we need to pay attention to the news just in case something happens. Know that most likely crude oil once again will go into that excessive supply state, and then probably will just tank again, and who knows, zero might just be another calling this year. Okay, great. So thank you everybody. Don't forget to subscribe once again if you enjoyed this video, and then to be that booster, that fraud that we need to do more. Enjoy the rest of the day and see you soon. Goodbye for now everybody, and peace out. Goodbye.